Yo, what up, y'all? You already know it's Mr. Hood Love, Mikey B. And this is Hood Love TV, where you live, love, and learn, man. You know what I mean? Hit that like button, hit the subscribe button when you get in here. You heard? You already know what it is, man. Share the live, man. Salute to a lot going on TV, Smitty. You know what I'm saying? You already know what we doing over here. We'll be reacting to Hassan Campbell. You know, he's on fire. He's kind of hot about that lawsuit. We're gonna be reacting to that. Yo, City Demon, what's up, man? I ain't pop out in a few days. You know what I mean? I had to come back, check on the peoples, get y'all some, some content. You know what I mean? Get y'all some reactions, bro. Yo, it's wild out here. Hassan Campbell is on a rampage. You heard? Hassan Campbell is on a rampage right now. You heard? He is on a rampage right now. You heard? Um, and you know me. Just being honest, some of this stuff I thought wasn't true. So I gotta really apologize at the start of this to Hassan Campbell. I really gotta apologize to him because I didn't actually say he was lying, but really, I'm not gonna lie, I didn't believe this whole lawsuit. I didn't believe it was true. I didn't believe the Supreme, actually put out a lawsuit against him. Um, I didn't believe it. I'm just being honest. I'm just being honest. You know what I'm saying? AP, I mean, you could be right. So I gotta apologize just for to Hassan Campbell for even believing, just being honest, being the person that I am. You know what I'm saying? Um, I think, yo, Trini, what up? Yo, salute to everybody in the building. Frank Matthews, what up? Salute to City Boy Floyd. Salute to everybody pulling up. I think Prince and Preem and all these guys, I think they handling this the right way. I seen Prince speak on this. Um, And he's saying, years ago we would have handled this. Somebody talking about us, we would have handled this a lot differently. Um, but now we trying to handle things the right way. And I think them, they feel like that he's defaming them. I feel them dropping that defamation of character lawsuit is the way to go on this. You know what I'm saying? I'm just being honest. I used to be big on street justice. I'm being honest. But I kind of changed my ways. I'm still not gonna do certain things as far as certain things, but and I'm not gonna go for certain things. You know what I'm saying? When it comes to my family and my peoples, I'm just being honest. You know what I'm saying? You're gonna have to worry about me if certain things happen to my family, my peoples. Then you're gonna have to worry. I'm just being honest. You know what I'm saying? But I'm not really big on that. I'm glad these guys is handling stuff like this now, um, as opposed to how they used to handle stuff. And I guess what got them in prison. Um, I can't say Prince is of guilty of anything because, he got found guilty of the murders and all this different stuff he said he talked about. He served time, so he got found guilty of something. So he served time. Um, but I'm glad them guys is out here. They doing stuff differently and they showing it and they speaking on it. They not just doing it and hiding their hand and still playing the gangster role on the internet. I really respect the fact of Prince coming to the internet and speaking the truth of him once handling conflict in a wrong way, and as a grown man, as an elder, handling conflict the right way that's fruitful for his family and the family of others. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying, Frank Matthews, you heard? Yeah, free Pappy Mason. You already know, man. Free the peoples, man. Free all the peoples, man. You know I'm with that. That's what I'm on. I'm on that free the people's time and all the way. You know what I'm saying? I'm glad though. Supreme is smart. You know what I'm saying? But violence is going to only beget more violence, and it's only going to get more people in prison. This is not even a time like this ain't the day and age for none of that. You know what I'm saying? Yo, XYZ salute from Buffalo, New York. You already know, man. Big Buff, man. 716 is up in this building, you heard? 716 is in here. I got a lot of people from 716, man. Buffalo, you heard? Salute to all the people from Buffalo, man. Salute. Appreciate you. 716 is in here, you heard? Setting up the super chat. Dale Brown. I mean, if the can is making them handle it that way, whatever. Yo, B Moore's in here. Maryland. Y'all know I lived in Maryland. I lived in Silver Springs, man. Maryland, B Moore's in here, you heard? Yo, Ramel, what up? Carl Young, Ramel is in here. ATL down there in Georgia. Georgia's in here. We got everybody tapping in here. Yo, what up? Salute, bro. Love you, bro. You already know. But I'm glad, yeah, I'm glad they handling stuff like this. And it's even more important, not that Prince is just handling stuff like this. I'm glad that Prince is coming to the internet and speaking on why he's handling stuff like this. That's more important. And I did a little post, on Prince and Bimmy, Supreme, and the whole thing. And a lot of people liked it. A lot of people shared the post. And really, I want, we not I want, but we as a people, we need elders that are respected in the community like Prince. Because Prince got a lot of respect, not only in Jamaica, Queens, but the whole culture is looking to Prince for guidance and for leadership with him coming out of prison. I'm just being honest, bro. You know, he's just the holder of it right now because his name is so big, he's so legendary, and really a lot of these legendary guys that have came out of prison before Prince have fell short, have fell out of grace with all the paperwork on the internet, their co-defendants coming out speaking against them. A lot of these legendary dudes fell short. A lot of these dudes that had these good shiny names when they went in prison, they came out looking suspect. They came out here looking nasty. Just being honest. Just being honest, you heard? You know, Prince, he still has the credibility. He still has, the name and everything that got to it, and still solid with the streets, as well as solid with everyday people that's just trying to come and get good information. You see what I'm saying? Um, I'm glad he changed his life. He obviously changed his life because he's not doing the things that got him into prison. And that's another thing, bro. These clown ass dudes on the internet, it's a bunch of clowns on this internet, you heard? It's a bunch of clowns on this internet. You gotta watch out for these clowns, you heard? Brothers like myself that did a lot of time. There's a lot of brothers on the internet that did a lot of time. They want to run with this jail ninja stuff. And you know the worst clowns that say this stuff? The Gully TVs, the the gossip girl business dude, because he's a gossip girl. These dudes did jail time, and they on the internet talking about other dudes that did jail time and calling dudes jail niggas. Yo, bro, I did my time. I'm not no jail nigga. I did 25 years. I did 27 years in prison, bro. I've been out here for 5 years voting, paying taxes, paying bills, paying car notes. I got credit cards. I got everything. I'm doing good. I'm not no jail nigga. I'm just a nigga that did time. Y'all corny dudes y'all dudes is just mad is that dudes got names and solid names out here and y'all don't. Y'all subscribers and y'all viewers is going down because of what you see. I ain't no jail nigga. I'm a nigga that did time. That's that. You want to say I'm a nigga and I'm black, kind of comes with our culture. I don't really use that word, but I'm only using it now to make y'all understand. I'm not no fucking jail nigga. I'm a dude that did time. That's that. Y'all dudes, y'all clowns, these clowns on the internet, they keep trying to use that against dudes that's coming out here. January, God willing, if I make it to January, that'll be 5 years I've been out here doing the right thing, working, holidaying with my family, going on vacations, taking trips. Look at me in the airport. Jail dudes can't fly. Jail dudes is going to the shower and going to the mess hall. I go to restaurants. I go to hotels. I go on vacations. I'm a Southside Tony because I did 27 years. That don't make me a jail nigga. It make me a dude that did jail time. I did my time. I'm not out here. I don't walk to the shower with a shank when I go to my shower in my house. I don't go to the shower. I don't got a razor in my mouth. I don't wake up on some PTSD stuff in my house. I don't my wife, the dog jump on me. I'm not screaming in the middle of the night, waking up in shivers. I don't got none of that, bro. God been good. God bless me to be able to shake that shit off of me, bro. God bless me to be able to shake that off and come out here and still speak sensible. Still be a person that can talk and speak after doing all that time. Cause I didn't do no hard drugs when I was in prison. I studied. I went to college. I took vocationals. I took computer programming. I took all that stuff, bro. Like, come on, bro. I've been out here talking to kids, creating programs, helping people get jobs, writing resumes for my clients. Jail niggas don't do that. That's not a jail nigga. A jail nigga's probably on a corner. Now, let me tell you something. If I was out here on a corner, getting to it, talking some gangster shit to little kids around my way with a do-rag on, telling war stories on a corner, then you probably could say I'm a jail nigga. Cause I'm probably going right back. I'm not never going back. My destiny is to be forever free, bro. I did my time. Then you could probably call me a jail nigga if I ain't have a job, if I wasn't voting, if I wasn't paying bills. Yo, Shaq, what up? FBA, what up? FBA, I agree. Being a jail dude is a state of mind. I agree. But that state of mind is going to take you right back to jail. Having a jail mentality or a jail dude state of mind is going to take you straight back to prison. On the other hand, with myself, only thing is I'm laying the bricks is to be more successful in the future. I own businesses. I don't even got my wallet on me. I got business cards. Jail dudes don't got wallets, you heard? So here come a jail dude. Here come a jail dude right now. Here come a jail dude right now. Jail dudes don't got wallets, you heard? With cash in them. Jail dudes don't got wallets with cash in them, you heard? Jail, we can't have wallets in jail. We got wallets in jail, but we got jail dudes don't got wallets with money in them, you heard?
My son wilding already.
Yeah, they tripping out here, you heard?
We not jail dudes though. What they talk about?
Jail dudes don't got cars like this. Y'all scammers. I can't. Jail dudes don't got BJ's cards. I got a BJ's card, you heard?
My son stay with the BJ's card.
I got a BJ's card. I ain't gonna show you my other cards because y'all scammers out here. Y'all get my
Yeah, they
number.
definitely taking pictures. You know that.
Yeah, they can't take a picture of this. This is just my name. That's an Apple card, titanium.
Nah, you better block that little piece. They probably swiping.
They can't swipe. They
Niggas is
can't swipe that.
digital.
Yo,
You crazy.
I got an Amazon Prime card. These are the cards I can show you. These are the cards I can show you. All right? I
Oh
can
yeah,
show you
they
these cards.
definitely on
Ain't
your
no numbers.
Amazon right now.
I don't got. They
They
can't get to
ordering
that.
shit on your Amazon right now. You keep playing.
Oh, I got cards. I'll be at the casinos too. I can show you casino cards. That's resorts. I got some. I got some casino cards. You know what I'm saying? I can show y'all that. But jail dudes don't got cards, man. Jail dudes don't got credit cards. Jail, they don't got credit in jail. You heard? Suckers up here talking. You know what I mean? Yo, what up, Smitty? Talk to the peoples, bro. What up?
Hold on. What's up, man? What's going on, man? Salute to everybody in the building, man. It's crazy, man. It's
Yeah, I was
crazy.
apologizing to Hassan Campbell. You heard?
Why you was apologizing then? What happened?
Because I kind of, I kind of went in like I didn't say he lied, but I kind of felt he wasn't telling the truth. You know what I'm
Okay.
saying?
Okay.
Kind of
It's
felt he
always
wasn't
good
telling.
to apologize to a person when you
It's
feel
right,
like you was
right.
you was in the wrong or you made a mistake or so that's good.
Hey,
Salute to
yo, hit the
you.
like button, man. A lot going on in the hood. A lot going on in the hood. When me and Smitty go to come together with Hood Love TV and a lot going on, TV comes together. It's called a lot going on in the hood. You heard?
That's right. Salute, salute, salute. Yo,
Salute.
be more for life. Trini BK, Stone to the bone. Peace and blessings to y'all brothers, man. AP, salute to everybody in the building. Hit that like button.
Yo, jail dudes don't got computers everywhere, man.
Come on, son.
Jail dudes don't got laptops, computers. Jail dudes don't got
Nah,
that. You heard?
facts. Facts.
Jail
Jail dudes
dudes,
still in the streets.
jail dudes don't got red cups with something nice in them. You heard? Yo, they talking this jail dude stuff, bro. We got to get them off that, bro. You heard? We working out here. 9 to 5 better than 25. You heard?
9 to 5 is better than 25
Jail dudes
any
don't got
day in
jobs.
America.
Jail dudes got programs. You heard? Yo, where you
Nah,
going?
that's
I'm
a
going to
fact.
programs. I'm going to programs. Jail dudes got programs, you heard? Yo, Big Queen's in here. I am King. What up? Salute. Jail dudes don't got that, bro. Stop talking that jail stuff. Y'all suckers is just not, y'all just not talented. Y'all just not as talented as us. Hassan Campbell. Let's see what Hassan Campbell had to say. Because Hassan Campbell, he going in out here. Look what, yo, check out your man Hassan.
Defamation of character, it came out of your nephew's mouth, my nigga. You think you got my back against the wall, but I promise you something. Y'all won't get a dollar out of me. I have nothing in my name. Child support taught me a lesson. I remember when my baby mother told me, because my wife, the one I'm not legally married to, my baby mother said, when you get married, I'm taking half of what she got too. And that taught me a lesson over 20 something years ago. Because my wife makes a lot of bread. You think I make bread? She makes a lot of bread. We're not married on paper, my nigga. You'll never touch a dollar, a dime out of my money. This is why they got LLCs and corporations. I don't have to post not one post on this YouTube page ever again, my nigga. But just in case y'all do win and you get a job.
Hey, yo, Hassan Campbell said they not getting a dime. He don't got nothing in his name, and he got an LLC. He's right. He's smart. If he has an LLC and he has Hassan Campbell under a LLC and not his name, then they only can sue the LLC for what the LLC is worth. That's how it goes. He's right about that. That's what an LLC is for. A LLC limits your liability. That's what that's for. If he becomes liable to them for any amount of money and his company is under a LLC, the Hassan Campbell brand, his show is under a LLC, then they only can get him for what the LLC is worth. They only can take the money out of the LLC if he has money in there. I don't know what's going on with that. But he's right about that though. He's not wrong about that. Yo, Hassan is crazy. Hassan crazy.
Yeah,
Let's
Hassan Campbell is wilding out right
damn, bro. What
now,
you gotta
though.
say, Smitty? Guy, talk to the people.
I mean, Hassan Campbell is on a wild out commission, man. I don't know what he's on, but somebody need to get that man drink, get that man glasses, get that man hat, everything, and just take it off, man. Cause he's a character, man, for real. He wowed out the other day, came up on live, and had the nerve to say he knows the killer of 50 Cent mother.
Oh, that's crazy. I don't know what's going on with that. I ain't into nothing.
Yo,
I don't even know nothing about that, bro. I don't know what's going on with R.I.P. to that woman. I don't know nothing about that. I don't know what's going on. They tripping out here with that, you heard?
that was crazy. He was on live for 3 hours, just like, oh my, yo,
I don't know nothing about that, bro. I don't even
running his
know.
snot box.
I don't know nothing about that kind of stuff, bro. I don't know nothing about any any
Yo,
any people that is not here anymore. I don't know nothing, bro. I'm just
nah. This is
I
this
ain't
is
even speaking
insane.
on that. I don't even know. I don't know what he's talking about. I don't know what's going on. I don't know none of that stuff, bro. You heard? I never heard about that stuff. I don't know what's going on with that, you heard?
Yeah, that was kind of crazy right there. You know what I'm saying? But what's up, man? What else is going on, man? He kind of wilded out with that, and he was talking about the Supreme team situation and how Prince is coming home on the same thing, and he actually used one of your videos with you basically saying that you know brothers coming home on that tip, they're not free in the mind, soul, body. You know what I'm saying? Like, how you feel about that?
Oh, he used the video?
Yeah, you should play it.
I didn't know
Go to
that he
his
used my
show.
video on one of his videos.
He used your video on one of the shows.
On one of his shows? What, a regular a video or a lot or a short?
Your last live that you did when you was Dolo in the solo robe. Come on, son.
Wait a minute. He used it in his live or in a regular
In his
video?
live, bro, he had you in a nice robe looking like you, I'm not 88. You feel what I'm saying? With the glasses on and all that. You feel me? Stop playing.
Word?
Yes, I had you looking like something a little bit like a boss or something. You know what I mean?
Oh, word? I didn't even know that, bro. You know my Knicks playing tonight too, man. Salute to my
Yo,
Knicks.
shout
Trying to
out the
tell you.
Knicks, man. Shout out the Knicks, man.
Knicks in
'Cause
Boston tonight. You know I'm tapping in, you heard? Yo,
you know what
I
I'm
didn't even know that,
saying?
Shat. Yo, word?
Yeah. You
I
could you
mean,
could
I
tap
ain't
into
I
that.
ain't
You
tripping
could
off him using the video. I mean, I think it was a good message from what I said. If he used the one I posted on Instagram,
Yeah, the one that you posted on YouTube, actually.
I
The whole
posted it on
video. He
YouTube, but then
actually played that video. He was jacking your message, basically what you were saying in the message, which I agree to. You feel what I'm saying? Certain things, don't get me twisted. Certain things that Hassan Campbell was saying on his channel was absolutely right. He just twisted me when he got to Supreme and 50 Cent. When he started talking about Supreme and 50 Cent and his mother and Majestic and the Get Rich or Die Trying movies, and I was like, yo, he's wilding.
yo, Johnny P is not happening. He took more easy dub for my Celtics.
Easy, yo, listen,
We
man. We should
smoked them
put you on
last year.
timeout for 300 seconds, boy.
Yo, Johnny P is
You
not
sent me the
happening. They
address,
taking
baby?
them down. They tell you they going down tonight. Yo, Fat Kev, salute. He said yes in the beginning of the video. I ain't tripping off Hassan posting that. I ain't tripping off that. I don't be a lot of people be posting my videos. I don't be clipping them. I don't be doing none of that. You know what I'm saying? This content is out here. Unless you're just a real undesirable, no good dude using my stuff. And then, if you're trying to violate, using my shit, trying to violate me, then I might. But other than that, Hassan is good. I ain't worried about that shit. You know what I'm saying? Um, I ain't worried about that. You know what I mean? But hopefully you said he liked it. He used it. He used it for something that was good. If he was talking to the peoples and using it, um, for a good cause or for a good message, it's all good. I ain't tripping, you heard? Yo, y'all hit that like button, you heard? He tried to use me to get at Preem. Nah, he can't use me to get at Preem.
Yeah, hit that like button. Hit that like button. Nah, we definitely ain't getting that Preem. We ain't got
Nah, he
no
can't use
spill
me.
and none of that with Bimmy, with Preem, with anybody. We just content creators. That's it.
Yo, we need one, Johnny P. We ain't get one in like since the 70s. I was even born the last time we get one. And I was born a Knicks fan. You know what I'm saying? My grandparents, they got me onto the Knicks. But we need one, bro. We definitely need one. And Giannis trying to come to the Knicks. But that's another show, you know what I mean? Um, but I ain't tripping off Hassan Campbell using the content. When I made that video, I was just basically saying that was part of a lot that we was doing. It was like it was nothing against Preem, Prince, or Bimmy. It was us being a slave to a culture that we didn't create. The gangster culture, that gang culture that we all embrace in America as black people, Spanish or whatever. However, you see yourself, none of that shit is our culture, bro. And they got off it for the most part. They still in it, but they in it, but not like that. We the face of the gangs now. We the face of the gangs of America. And it's going viral. Our gangs are going viral now. And look at all the stuff they're talking about doing with gangs now. That was my own thing about just dudes being a slave to a culture as far as Preem still having to fight to get out of prison. He's 60. Somebody told me he's 65. He still got to go through this cops and robbers and talk about all this stuff. Bimmy's old in his 60s. And dudes are still talking about they got to live stuff down if he's guilty or not. He got to live stuff down from the 80s, the 90s. There is no winning that shit, bro. You can't say Preem held it down and he's solid. He's sitting in there with a life sentence. You can't say he won. Bimmy's out here with his family. They running them all through the internet now. If he's guilty or innocent, I'm not talking about that. If he's guilty of being a CI or not, he up here defending. He didn't win because you could say he won because he been out here getting money, but to his character, to his credibility, to who he is, I don't know. You know what I'm saying? If you got to come and you got to defend yourself for all these years, how is that a clear win? There is no winners. It's all losers. You know what I'm saying? And then nobody's not even thinking about the victims to all these crimes. It's victims to this shit. They kids is watching. They families is watching this stuff. And these dudes is trying to come home or get money or do whatever they trying to do. Those is not victimless crimes that they committed. You see what I'm saying? And that's one thing I agree with Hassan with, saying that he had people that was addicted to drugs and they was pushing that shit all around. And and I'm not saying when I was a kid, I had a hand in it, just being honest. I was hustling. I was a hustler. I came with the house of hustlers, just being honest. So we all, like I said, are sinners, and it's mad victims, it's mad people out here that need leadership, that need assistance from the shit that they promoted, sold to the hood, and put on the hood. We need OGs to come out here and be real elders and hold shit down for the community. Where the hood love that. You did your time, you came back. What's up? We accepting you, we giving you parties, we jacking you, we supporting your documentaries. When you going to support the community? When you going to support these kids? When you going to support the hood? When you going to use your voice to do the right thing by your people? That's more important than anything, bro. You heard? And I respect Prince. He's doing a lot for a smaller podcast. He's doing his own thing with his video. So I respect Prince. He got a big voice out. He got a big name out here. I respect how he's doing it. You know what I'm saying? I respect the way he's doing it. You know what I mean? Um, and let me tell you something. Even with Supreme and Prince coming out here talking about rats and CIs and who is this and who is that, I respect that too, to a certain extent, because all these dudes had 30 years to talk, 34, 35 years to speak, they tell their stories. Let them dudes tell their story. I'm not against Preem or Prince telling their stories, bro. I'm a writer. I'm with them telling their stories. They need the opportunity to speak their piece like everybody else been doing on the internet. Everybody else is talking their shit. So we can't get down on Prince and Preem or anybody else that's coming to tell their story now. Everybody got the opportunity to come out here and talk their shit. Bimmy been on the internet talking his shit on almost every podcast. Bimmy, Bimmy been on like Bimmy been on like almost every podcast on the internet, yo.
Nah, that's a fact. You absolutely right about that.
He been on every podcast, bro. That's just the long and short.
Nah,
But
Bimmy definitely been
talk your shit, bro.
defending.
Go ahead.
Nah,
I ain't.
Bimmy definitely been up here defending himself a lot. You know what I'm saying? As we see for the last few years, you know what I'm saying? Last decade, damn near he been, you know, up here defending himself. Prince, you know, on his, hands and shit like that. I feel like, you shouldn't even be worrying about that. Like Mikey B said, dudes out here, showing you love, showing you the new ways that how the streets is moving and how dudes is actually out here doing things legally and the right way. You know what I'm saying? Like the real OGs, they not out there playing with their lives. You feel what I'm saying? Like they ain't got time for it. You feel what I'm saying? Like I think you got a bigger story than to come out here, and to be exposing rats and
But
you
that's
know
a
what I
part
mean?
of the story, though, Smitty.
No, 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 no. It shouldn't be the main part. It shouldn't be the main. It
I
shouldn't
don't
be the
think it's the
main
main
part.
part. That was a small part. If you seen the documentary that Preem put out,
I
and
did,
only thing he said was that small part about Bimmy.
right, but this is an ongoing where it's you understand what I'm saying? Like it, even though it's more to it, the Bimmy situation is still overriding what they're trying to do.
And I
You feel what
only
I'm saying?
only
So
reason why I think it is, bro,
and it's, and
is
it's
because
actually getting him
Bimmy
caught.
has
It's
been
actually
too
getting him
vocal.
caught. Hold on, it's actually getting him caught in a web on this web. You get what I'm
He
saying?
didn't have to come to the internet and talk about the Supreme Team for the last 10 years, bro.
I agree with you.
He didn't have to come up here and talk about that shit. He could be like, yo, I'm doing, like he said, I do music. I'm doing my music, bro. Fuck all that shit in the 90s that I ate, in the 80s that I did. I ain't hustling 35 years. He ain't had to talk about it at all. He ain't had to talk about Supreme Team, bro. But now everybody want to hear it. He made it, like we said before, bro. Bimmy is the one that made all this the biggest story ever. Because he been on the internet on every podcast promoting how he was a part of the team, how he ran the team, not his music. I don't even, all right, I know certain things he did in his music career, but the things that he was most vocal about, and I think he's paying for that, bro. Because he tried to lavish in a lifestyle of a drug dealer when he changed his life 35 years ago. He tried to lavish in that lifestyle, and I think this whole shit right now is backfiring, bro, because you had a blessing, you had a good situation. You should have just left that shit in the 80s and moved on with your life. If Bimmy wasn't so vocal about that, bro, I think he could have just came to the internet like, yo, bro, whatever happened in the 80s, I'm leaving that in the 80s, bro. I ain't on that time no more. Good luck to Preem and them. It wouldn't be such a big story. He's still coming to the internet talking and trying to defend your G Up Quinn salute and trying to defend and trying to be on shit. You see what I'm saying? He trying to. I heard some crazy stuff. I heard him say some crazy stuff on the internet, bro. That didn't sit well with me. I didn't come to the internet with that shit because, like I said, I like his family. I fuck with his family, and I mess with his peoples and shit. So I don't want to come up here and really kick his back down and kick his people back down, bro. You see what I'm saying? But on the real shit, I gotta speak real. If I'm gonna come up here and speak, then I gotta speak truthful and I gotta speak truth to power, homie. You know what I'm saying? That's how it really be with me. I can't come up here and just and not keep it and keep it 1,000. Yo, great God salute. Right, right. Great God said he didn't change ish. He was still trying to live up the Supreme Team flag. And that's what it and that's I think that's the whole thing that backfire. Yo, shit Marvin. Yo, shit's Marvin. What up? Yo, you commented on my post. I liked it too. You said I'm feeling bad for Bimmy. You're right, Shiz Marvin? You said I was feeling bad for Bimmy, right? I liked your comment on my post on Instagram. I don't feel bad for Bimmy. I liked your comment though, because we gotta talk about conflict. I don't feel bad for Bimmy because Bimmy did the shit he did in his life. I didn't feel bad for myself when I caught my time because I know what I did in my life. I know the crimes that I did to committed to against people. I know the shit I did was wrong. I ain't feel so. Why would I feel bad for him? With I'm not I don't feel bad for him, bro. He did the things that he wanted to do. He came to the internet with that shit, and now he's feeling the internet. We all gotta pay for our sins, bro.
So you saying that it's no type of like you don't feel. I mean, I don't feel sorry for him either. Like you know what I'm saying
I
because
don't feel bad for him, bro.
clearly, Bimmy has been on the internet, and from what I see, he didn't show no gangster
Right,
nothing
Amber
like as
Brown.
be as
Go
being
ahead,
a
bro.
gangster. He ain't show nothing as being a gangster, nothing, but he still gave us that image like he was still around.
Let me tell
He
you
was
something,
still in the
bro.
mix. You know what I'm saying? He
Only
kept
I
on
feel
talking about
bad
the
for his
situation.
family. I feel
Huh?
bad that his family got to still deal with this shit. But we all do. We all do what we got to do, bro. I don't bring my family into no street shit. I'm not gonna bring. But let me tell you something, bro. I heard Bimmy say some shit on the internet, right? And it was like a threat. You know what I mean? Yo, I got little cousins that's coming home. This dude's name, that dude's name. They might just activate because they want to activate. And let me tell you some real shit right here, bro. I don't give a fuck. If you told on them people and you would get your nephews and your cousins to back you on some bullshit, bro, then you a sucker, Bimmy. I don't give a fuck, bro. You a sucker for that, my nigga. Gotta be honest, my nigga. If you would let you talking about people that didn't even come home yet, and you will let your little cousins get into some shit that you did in the 80s that you was willfully doing, and if you really told on them people, you know you told, and you will let your family activate against people in the street, bro, you are a fucking coward, my nigga. You are a coward, bro. Some coward shit, bro. Stand on your shit, my nigga. Stand on your shit, my nigga. You told, just done it. The war is best. War is best, bro. War is best when it's short. This is a war right now. You want a war. It's not physical yet, but this is a war. But if you will let your family get into some shit, you know you ratting on them niggas, my nigga, and you will let your little cousins and other people suffer, and you ain't gonna bust a grape, you ain't gonna bust a shot, and you a sucker ass nigga, my nigga. You a sucker for that, my nigga. I don't give a fuck. You a sucker for that, my nigga. If you would let your little cousins, you would let your family go out there and risk their safety and their freedom, and you know you ratted on these niggas, my nigga, you a sucker for that, my nigga. I don't give a fuck. You a sucker for that, my nigga. You a sucker for that, my nigga. No respect for you. I got no respect for a nigga like that. If you did it, it is what it is. Get off the internet. Nobody got to speak on it. Nobody, if you did it, if you ratted on niggas, just get the fuck off the internet, my nigga. Like at some point, this shit gotta stop, bro. You gotta get off the internet. You told on niggas, it is what it is. Nigga, get off the internet, go live your life. You got money, you got millions. Get the fuck off the internet, my nigga. Like, what you doing? You dragging this shit out, you making it longer. Bimmy is the one that's making this shit longer right now, bro. Bimmy is the one that's making this shit worse, bro. He's making this shit worse, bro. He's talking shit, and he's talk the rhetoric that he's using. Yeah, other people might get involved. You know, I got like niggas don't want to hear that shit, bro. Like nobody don't give a fuck about that shit, bro. Nobody don't give a fuck about that shit, bro. We all came up on that shit, bro. Nobody don't care about that. Everybody get busy. Everybody got niggas in their family that get busy, bro. Everybody got niggas in the street that get busy, bro. I'm just being honest, bro. We supposed to be turning the rhetoric down, not turning the rhetoric up. That's some coward shit, my nigga. I'm just being honest, bro. I don't give a fuck. That's some coward shit, my nigga. That's some coward shit, my nigga. That's some coward shit. You ain't gonna stand on nothing yourself. You ain't gonna bust nothing, bro. I never heard of Bimmy busting no shots in my community around my way, bro. And you will let your little sons, your little cousins, or whoever, your family members go out there and stamp some shit. You know you did bad. You know you did wrong, my nigga. At some point, you gotta stand the fuck down. At some point, you gotta say, yo, listen, stay out this shit. And let me tell you something. Against me. Let me tell you, I'm a victim of that shit. I was caught in some shit in prison and it cost me more time. And a nigga that I found out that was a rat later, I popped for him. I popped for that nigga. And I don't regret going for the nigga because it was my man. But when I found out at the end, this nigga was a rat. And he was a dude that was, and I don't got no hate for the nigga. It was a nigga from Queens. He was one of my homies. And I got into a lot of shit. And it ended up, I ended up getting into a lot of shit over homie, and son was a rat. You see what I'm saying? He was a solid dude. He was a shooter and all that. I thought he was a solid nigga, but he ended up to be a rat. But my whole thing is, bro, you can't continue to push that line. You can't push no line up here, and you know you doing wrong out there, my nigga. That shit is coward shit all the way, bro. Let them niggas keep your family, keep everybody out that shit, bro. Keep everybody out that shit, bro. You gotta move on from that shit, bro. You gotta let that shit go, cause Bimmy is he's fanning the flame of this shit. He's keeping this shit going. He gotta get off. He gotta just say get off the internet. You gotta leave it alone. Real shit,
Yo,
bro.
big
I'm not.
bro. Nah,
Go
you
ahead,
speaking
bro.
facts though. I gotta tap out. You know I'm at work. This was a good one. You already know.
All right, I'm here,
All
bro. I
right.
ain't going nowhere for a second. I'm gonna be here for a little while longer. Go ahead.
All
I
right.
see you,
I gotta
bro.
tap out quick. I gotta do a couple rooms. I ain't want to just be
All right.
sitting up here.
All right, hit me up, bro. Peace, bro.
All right.
That's what I'm saying, bro. And you, like I said, I'm not convicting Bimmy of anything, bro. You know what I'm saying? I'm not saying he know. He know. He know. But when I hear him talking about, I heard him on an interview, and he talking about his family members that's still in prison, ready to come home, and you ready to send them right back to jail or to the box or to a box, to a hole in the ground, because everything ain't gonna go your way all the time. Once war start, once war start, that shit don't always go your way, my nigga. That shit don't go the way you planned. Once you start a war, bro, you gotta replan. You gotta replan because that shit don't always go your way, my nigga. You think it's gonna go your way, but it don't always go your way, bro. That's how I feel about that shit, bro. I can't really hold that shit, bro. I hope, like I said, I hope a lot of this shit is just lies. But on the same token, it's like, what you talking about, bro? Them niggas wasn't even born in the 80s. You talking about family members, bro. You ain't gonna go out there and bust nothing. He talking about, yeah, niggas supposed to protect the money and protect this. Like you trying to set it up so everybody can protect you even though you did bad, bro. You did bad. A lot of niggas did bad, bro. You're not the only nigga that did bad. I hope you're not a confidential informant, but you might be. It is what it is. But you ain't the only nigga that did bad. It's all kind of people got family members that did bad. All kind of people got family members that did bad in the streets, bro. You ain't the only one. A lot of these niggas out here did bad, bro. Niggas know they did bad. Dudes are still rocking with them. I ain't mad at nobody for rocking with who they rock, but I don't care. I don't care. But the thing is, bro, Bimmy, you gotta turn that rhetoric down, bro. You can't turn because you sound like you trying to turn it up. You sound like you trying to turn it up. You gotta turn that shit down, bro. You gotta turn that shit is bad, bro. You know what I'm saying? And let me tell you something. If I was your family member, I'd be like, yo, you this nigga's bugging. I ain't gonna lie, bro. I don't know. I know they family and shit, bro. And I got love for their family. You know what I'm saying? And they family shouldn't even be a part of this shit. That's some shit that he started in the '80s. Whatever you started in the '80s, man. I'm gonna tell y'all a story. When I was a kid, and I'm gonna get up out of here after this shit, bro. This shit got me tight. I ain't gonna lie. I had my man O'Neal, R.I.P. to O'Neal, right? So O'Neal had some shit going on in Brooklyn when I was a kid, when I first came out the house. Um, but we already was living behind a gun. We already was living behind a gun. So O'Neal had some shit in Brooklyn. Whatever he had in Brooklyn. So all of us, all the guys from my block at the time, we had a nice crew. It was about 7 or 8 of us, and all of us was living by the gun. So he had to go to Brooklyn. O was like, yo, listen, I gotta go to Brooklyn. And he had some shit going on. And we like, yo, we gonna come with you. You know what I'm saying? It's like 7 or 8 of us, and we all armed at that time. We was rolling like that. We all get busy. And O went to Brooklyn and got killed. O ain't come back from Brooklyn. But he never let us get in whatever he had going on. He never let us get into that shit because that was his shit. That was his shit. You know what I'm saying? I learned a lot from O. He lost his life in that situation. R.I.P. to O'Neal. R.I.P. to Big O. But he didn't let us. He didn't let us get in caught in whatever shit he had going on. We didn't get no money out of it. We didn't get nothing out of it. He didn't let us get involved in that shit. He ain't let us get involved in that shit. He went out there. He got shot about 40 times. I think 27. He got shot 27 times and got killed in Brooklyn. But he never let none of us get involved in that shit. And that was Webb, a lot of us, a lot of these guys that you hear on the internet, the guys that you seen on my on my platform, a lot of my friends that you see in these pictures with me, a lot of my day ones, we was all there for O. He was one of the dudes that bring us out the house. He was one of the dudes that let us out the house. You know what I'm saying? And he was like, "Yo, nah, I got this. I'm gone." And we never seen O again. Next time we seen O, it was at his wake. You know what I'm saying? But these dudes is not gonna live like that. Dudes is not gonna step up like that. So my whole thing is, I don't want to see, nothing go down. But at some point, you gotta stand on some shit. Somebody gotta stand on some shit and be like, "Yo, dead that," because it wouldn't be as big as it was. This wouldn't be as big a story that it is if Bimmy wasn't on the internet running around. He won't let this shit die. He won't let this shit die. I don't know. I don't know. I don't understand. Like, you gotta let this. He gotta. You into music? You got a lot of money. Your family's doing good. Why is you still on this internet shit like that? Like, I don't understand. I mean, I don't understand at this point. Are you trying to solidify your legacy? Are you like, what is the reason? What are you getting out of this? Zip with the drip got valid paperwork, bro. It is what it is. It is what it is, bro. If my family, your family, whoever, bro, it is what it is, bro. If they did that shit and they was in the streets, if they wasn't in the streets, it don't even matter because they're a civilian. If they was in the streets and they did bad, it is what it is, bro. It is what it is, bro. And don't get me wrong, nobody want to see nothing happen to their family. I don't want to see anything happen to my family. Like, I know they don't want to see nothing happen to Bimmy and his family. I respect that. I respect KK. I respect his cousins or whoever would stand up for Bimmy. I respect that. But as an OG, as an elder, as a real dude, if you a real dude, you are not gonna let other people get involved in your mess. It's niggas in the chat right now that wanted to get involved in my mess. That I told them no. I got this. It's real niggas in the chat right now that want to get involved in my mess and the shit I'm involved in my life. I told them no. A lot of dudes called me, I got shit going on. I tell him, nah, I got this shit. Don't worry about it. I got this shit. I'll handle it. There's niggas in the chat right now that want to get involved in my mess. I don't let nobody get involved in my mess, bro. I don't let nobody get involved in my shit, bro. Like at some point you gotta stand on some shit, bro. Like stand on your shit, bro. Like what kind of dude is you? Either get off the internet because you keep drawing this shit out every time you making the story bigger and bigger with everything you say, Bimmy.
You know I got
And I'm not
icing
just
on.
trying to hear. I'm not here just trying to capitalize on the story. But every word you say, every time you make a post, you give people more fodder. You feeding the flame, bro. Like, come on, if you got respect for and love for your family, just get out the way. Like, yo, listen, bro, I don't give a fuck what these dudes say. I'm off that shit. If he would have did that shit 3 years ago, 2 or 3 years ago, the story wouldn't be this big, bro. It's bigger because he made it fertile. He made the ground fertile for all this shit, bro. I don't know, man. Yeah, Shaq. I mean, I think dudes need to chill out, bro. But it's like everybody's done, bro. Everybody, and I'm not saying these guys, but this shit is some idiot shit, bro. War, war is supposed to be handled quickly. The more protracted a war is the more casualties. You want that shit to be in and out. Andre Brown said, okay, but was that a good chess move on Preem to force Prince to stand on it? Prince, their family. Prince gonna stand on it. And Prince is talking about in these interviews that he got paperwork. So this is I only see this getting worse. This story is not this is not the end of the story. This story is not over. Prince is strategic. He told you he been playing chess his whole life. Prince got paperwork. Prince got paperwork. They got some shit. I don't know what they got, but Prince said it. He said, I'm not going. He looked at the camera. He stopped interviewing and he looked at the camera. And he said, I am not, I'm bringing paperwork. I'm going to talk about that on my channel. I'm going to talk about that on my channel. Prince got paperwork. Prince got paperwork. Prince is not up here capping. Prince got paperwork. In fact, Kev said the 4th of July is coming early. Yo, look, Prince got paperwork. Prince got paperwork. I believe Prince got paperwork. Let me tell you something. With his legacy, with his credibility, with all the things that he's talking about doing right now, with documentaries and Supreme Team movies, you think he would come on the internet and lie and say he got something that he don't got? You think he would come right now in the middle of all this shit, this big storm that's on the internet right now, that got the algorithm? You can't even really talk about nothing else. Maybe the NBA guys, you can't really talk about nothing else right now. They suck the energy out of the room. The Supreme story, the Bimmy story, the Hassan Campbell, this whole story sucked all the energy out of the room, bro. If you think he don't got paperwork, you are bugging. Now, what that paperwork might say, who that paperwork is on, that's up for debate. We're gonna have to wait to see it. But Prince, Prince got that work. Prince got that paperwork. When you coming home straight from prison like that for 34 years, let me tell you something. When you coming home from prison after all that time, you got all the documents. You got all you. We come home with our shit. I did 25 years. You coming home with that. You got paperwork. You coming home with your paperwork. Is that some jail nigga shit? Yeah, that's some jail nigga shit. They got the paperwork. It's not on an email. It's not on a PDF file. It's a big bag of paperwork. a big bag of documents, paperwork, paper. He got that shit. Believe he got it. If he's saying he got it, Prince Preem sent something to him, and he got it. Believe he got it. He got the work. He got the paperwork. Whose names are you gonna be talking about? Who, what people? He got paperwork though. Believe that. And let me tell you something. This goes back to a lot of these other stories, and not just this story that we talking about now on the internet. Not just this story, but other stories. Blue, you already know. That's why these dudes on the internet, Sandbox Bully, salute. That's why these dudes on the internet, all these jail dudes that are being called informants, CIs, and all these different things, third party, we done heard third party telling, we done heard all kind of shit on this internet. And they all saying, where's the paperwork? Right? They all saying that. And they all been to jail. Why is it? Let me ask y'all this question. Why is it that all the solid dudes come home with the paperwork, but all these dudes that have these bag tags on their name, they don't got their paperwork? Put a one in the chat if you ever seen one of these dudes show their paperwork. In jail, you gotta show your paperwork. In jail, they gotta show their paperwork. All these dudes that are supposedly confidential informants, rats, third party, none of them have shown their paperwork. But Prince got his. I had mine. Tankhead had a whole bag of paperwork. I seen him at Also Bossly. Everybody got their paperwork that came home from jail. Why are the confidential informants, why are all these dudes that are supposed to be rats, why they don't got their paperwork? Why are they telling us to go get their paperwork when we know the rules of engagement is you got to show your paperwork? I don't got to show your paperwork. You got to show your paperwork. That's the rules of engagement. If we talking jail nigga shit, a real official jail nigga, Blue Boy, I bet you Blue Boy came home with all his paperwork. Next time we get Blue Boy up here, we gonna ask him, yo, Blue Boy, when you came home, did you have your paperwork? Blue Boy gonna be like, hell yeah. Every jail nigga on the internet, they telling you to get my paperwork. Why would I have to get your paperwork when the rules of engagement is you gotta show your paperwork? You gotta show your sentencing minutes. You gotta show your shit. I don't gotta show your shit. All these dudes that are supposedly confidential informants and rats, none of them got their paperwork. None of them dudes got their paperwork. Put a one in the chat if I'm lying. Put a one in the chat if I'm telling the truth. Put a two if I'm a dub, if I'm lying. Put a two if I'm lying. Put a one in the chat if I'm telling the truth. Put a two if I'm lying. All of these stories we have been hearing about would have been easy if the CI or the rat just came out and showed their paperwork. Here's my sentencing minutes. Here's this. Here's the DD5. Here's that. Put a one in the chat if I'm telling the truth. Put a two if I'm lying. They supposed to have their paperwork. Why are they not showing their paperwork? Because they no good. To me, co-defendants came out, all that shit. I know they no good. And let me tell you something. I'm gonna believe what I can believe. You can believe what you want. But I know a jail nigga that did 20 years, 10 years, they got their paperwork, bro. They know the rules of engagement, bro. They know the rules of engagement, bro. Everybody know that. Everybody know that. For times like this, dude try to call you a rat, you show him your paperwork. It's that simple. It's that simple. Listen, you called me a rat. This is my sentencing minutes. I seen Zip with the drip went and got his sentencing minutes for all those cases when they were trying to say he was a rat. He went and got all his sentencing minutes. He got all his stuff. He got his paperwork. That shit is easy when you get your own paperwork. But why do they not get their own paperwork? Because they know what it is already. I'm just being honest. And I'm not talking about Bimmy on this. I'm talking about all these dudes on the internet that's been accused of being CIs and rats. Because if you are a CI or a rat, it's gonna say it in your sentencing minutes because for whatever reason why they gave you less time, they're gonna say that at your sentence. They're gonna say it in your sentence. Well, he helped us on multiple cases, convicted this much guys, so we giving him below the minimum because in the interest of justice, he helped us out. This guy is almost a cop right here. You see dudes on the internet running around with badges. This guy is like an honorary police. He busted so many people. Yo, it's nasty out here, bro. Watch out, man. Watch out, man. Yo, listen, man. This is what Hassan Campbell got to say about jail dudes. Listen to this.
You know I got an ace in the hole, right? See, I learned from the celebrities. There's something called. Never mind. But anyway, black people, we got to stop letting these criminals come home after destroying our community and then rewarding them. Look at this. Just look. If this had come out a few years earlier, plumbers would have been out of a job by now. Doctors that saved 100,000 lives. You got construction workers that built 100,000 homes. And then you got niggas that come home from jail after they done massacred and mutilated the black community. And they get a Nobel Peace Prize? This is why, as a people, we are never going to amount to be anything. Good people in urban areas had to live hostage to the dope era and the crack era. They had to be imprisoned.
Um, I agree with Hassan Campbell with that statement that he made partially because there is a word called redemption. You know what I'm saying? Some people better themselves in prison. So why would they not be able to get a Nobel Peace Prize? Because you did something in your past 34 years ago? That means 34 years later you the same person? No. Prince has changed. Prince has clearly changed because he's no longer trying to be a hustler and do the things that he was doing. So obviously he clearly changed and he came back to the community with a message. So I don't agree with Hassan Campbell with that. Just because you went to jail for something 34 years ago, that don't mean you can't come home and win the Nobel Peace Prize. That don't mean you can't. You could be a peaceful person now. See, what's bad about that statement is because Hassan Campbell is trying to hold Prince to the person he was 34 years ago and to the act he committed 34 years ago. You understand what I'm saying? He changed. It's a lot of good people out here right now that committed bad acts in their community, and now they're the main ones working for the community. They're the main ones working hard for the kids to stay away from crime, to do the right thing. You can't hold somebody to an act, to one act they did 30 years ago. You can't hold now if he came back to the community and he was doing the same things, then we could say that. But people change. Just like people come out here and stay the same. We see a lot of people coming home and going right back to prison for some of the same things they left for. But Prince is not obviously not on that timing. He's not hustling. He's out here telling his story, trying to make ends meet the right way. So we gotta stop trying to hold people to their past. And after people have served, after people have done their time, they did their time. These people has worked in the government. This is why
Right.
people can't get. This is why people can't get jobs and stuff like that. Yo, talk to him, Smitty. What up, man? You was
No,
going
I
for a while.
agree. I agree with you on that, bro. When a brother, you know, pay his price for doing, the crime in the community. You understand that he come home on a different act and he's moving in a different way, especially a positive way, then he should be reported with that positive respect. You understand that positive encouragement. You understand what I'm saying? And you need others, I think, should give him a helping hand, man. You know what I mean? Like those brothers should be acknowledged, man. You know what I'm saying? That's actually trying to make a change for these babies in the hood. You feel what I'm saying? Pardon me, y'all. You know what I mean?
Bro, yo, bro, right. My thing is this, bro. What happened, whatever happened to you did your time.
Right.
And now you back out here. I see black people. Let me tell you something, man. We the worst. Sometimes we worse than the police, bro. We worse than the cops. The judge sent us to amount of time. We came home, we finished that time. How you still gonna hold somebody to something of time they did?
No, I agree with you on that. I definitely agree with you on that. And that's what most of the time when we come home, that's how we looked upon. You understand what I'm
It's
saying?
horrible, bro.
You know what I
Because you
mean?
could be a better person and you still can't get jobs. They still hold you out of housing. They do a lot of
Right.
different things and use that stuff against you with a lot of different things, bro. You heard?
Yeah, but not only the government, your own people though. Your own people. You understand what I'm saying? And the community. You understand what I'm saying? Like certain people change, bro. You know what I mean? I don't want to, and that's one of the main reasons I changed because I didn't want to be looked upon as the same little petty criminal in the hood. Cause that's what we really was. We wasn't really
Right.
getting no real money out there, bro. You understand what I'm saying? Like couple 100,000, couple thousand. That shit ain't about nothing, bro. You feel what I'm saying? We just threw 20, 30 years away for a couple 100,000. That's no money. What are
Off
you
the hook
talking about?
Off the hook girl says, I disagree, Mikey. Using change doesn't dismiss your bad deeds. But every crime has a monetary value and a time value. You paid your debt to society once you complete that time.
That's right. Yo,
So
brother,
how could you hold me to something after I paid my debt to society with whatever amount of time that I did? Why would I still be held? Why would I still be held to anything if I'm out here doing the right thing? Now, if I'm still doing the same things, then you send me back to prison. If I'm committing crimes or if I'm doing the same stuff, then I go back. But if I'm not, how are you still gonna hold me to that? That's how I'm telling y'all. The whole felony is the new slavery. They try to keep you enslaved, and that's why we have to stay away from felonies, bro. If you never had a felony, don't catch one. Don't catch no felony. They're gonna take so much from you. They're gonna take so much from you, even if you don't do a lot of time. You can't get programs. You can't get certain jobs. You can't bear arms. Your Second Amendment right, constitutional right. You see what I'm saying? Depending
Right.
on the felony. Some felonies you can't bear arms when you come back home. Some places, some states, after a certain amount of time. But overall, a felony is modern day slavery.
Yo, but bro, but name a person in the Bible that ain't do wrong.
I
You
was about to
understand
say
what I'm
that.
saying? Name a
Moses,
person in the
Moses
Bible.
killed. Right.
Come on, bro. Name a person that did.
Saul,
Look at Saul.
Jesus.
All of them, bro.
Jesus is the only one that didn't do all those prophets. All those prophets killed somebody or got busy, did stuff. All of them, bro. You heard?
All
All of
them
them.
prophets with them wise words got busy. You understand? They was once
All of them.
menace.
All of
They
them,
was
bro.
once menace. I'm just keeping it real. You understand what I'm saying? At the end of the day, you understand? Deceiving, snaking their brothers, all types of stuff. But they came back to switch their life. You understand what I'm saying? And teach righteousness. What's wrong with that? What's wrong with a brother making a mistake and coming back and correcting it?
Right. That's what
You
I'm
want
on,
us to
Smitty.
no, you know what? You know what's wrong? You know what's wrong, Mikey B? Dudes want us to continue to do the stupidness. So they could sit out there and be like, yeah, look at them dumb little niggas. Look at them dumb, stupid jailhead dudes. The only thing they want to do is running for back to jail. Stupid, can't get a job. You know what I mean? They paying my tax. Come on, son. Stop it, man. When a dude doing right, you just want dude to be a knucklehead all his life. You want dude to go out there and spin a block just like you, stand on on a corner smoking, selling bud and scamming all day. Nah, it's a bigger fight than that.
Right.
We
That
not
dude,
in the
Mr.
clubs. I'm not in the strip clubs. I'm not in the clubs. I'm not looking for no ass to be shaking or none of that.
You see
I'm
what
coming
that
home
dude?
to something.
You see what that dude, Mr. Royalty, say right there? He said Hassan Campbell is jealous because Prince is getting the recognition he wants. Hassan been in prison too. Do his words apply to himself? And that's what I'm saying, bro. You got the worst. Yo, I ain't gonna lie. Some of these, all these gangsters, Hassan talks about hit him in the head with the headshot. All the snot boxes he took down, and he came to the internet with that. You heard? He talks about all the trials he beat and all these murders and stuff that he beat, bro. You heard? So, yo, dudes be chasing clout, but then they try to use that same clout against you. You know what I'm saying? Like gossip man business. You heard? That's what I'm calling him from now on, son, because he's like gossiping a lot. You heard? That's his new name for me, bro. Gossip man business, bro. They said Hassan was in prison. I heard Hassan was blood and everything. I don't know if it was true or not, but that's what I heard. Shit, Marvin said Hassan be lying. Hassan said he was getting busy out there. They respect Hassan out there. Hassan was doing something out there. They respect Hassan out there, bro. I ain't gonna lie, you heard? Hassan might have been getting busy out there in the Bronx, bro. They saying Hassan was getting busy. I ain't gonna not deny that Hassan was getting busy in the Bronx or not. You know what I'm saying? But Prince coming home telling his story from a real perspective, showing why he changed. One of the biggest things I liked about what Prince said is how they used to handle things and how they handle things now. That's a that's a clear that's a clear show of his new values, the person that he is today, and he understands. He's a smart dude, so he understands who he was and what he used to do, and he understands who he is today and how that is different. And that right there goes a long way.
Nah, that's a fact. I think he definitely understand what he used to do back in the days will not be tolerated in these days and time, or he will be buried again. So I think Prince is actually trying to use and abuse this internet just like he would, do back in the 80s, like he was in the streets. He's actually attacking his damn team on his murder game. He on his, like, you know what I mean? Like on his Queens. Yo, listen, B, I'm here. You know what I'm saying? Like, y'all gonna see me. You know what I mean? It's Prince. You know what I mean? Y'all gonna see me. Y'all heard the stories, the myth, the man, the legend. I'm here.
Now I think, listen, I like this story. I mean, don't get me wrong. I came up under that story. I mean, I don't agree with a lot of it, But I like the fact that he's telling his story. Everybody's supposed to get the opportunity. A lot of dudes are talking about the jail dude telling the story because we taking all the air out the internet. That's what's going on. They mad that they views is dropping and all these dudes that's coming home. But y'all been telling the same stories. Y'all talk, yeah, I did a little bit back in the days, but that was only a little light something. Bro, like y'all trying to have it two ways. You did a bit, you did some jail time, but everybody else is a jail nigga. It's crazy out here, bro. But I ain't gonna lie, I think for another show we could do the hood dudes in the industry, like the industry dudes, bro. It's a clear cut. I'm seeing a clear divide right now. I'm seeing a clear divide in that shit. You heard? I said I never heard of a gangster suing. How you know he still considers himself a gangster? How you know he still considers himself a gangster? See, that's the problem too. A lot of us are still holding people to values and principles that they no longer live by. You might be holding Prince and Preem and these guys to values and principles that they no longer live by. He might just want to be a black man now. He might have learned in prison. You seen him with Matula Shakur, the Black Panthers. They both have said they mastered self-defense, and the Black Panther Party recruited the gangsters, the pimps, and the hustlers. You see what I'm saying? So they might be Panthers now. They might be Panthers now. They might be on Panther timing. They might be on a part of the Black Power movement now. They ain't pushing none of the lines that they were pushing before. They ain't telling dudes to hustle or do none of that stuff no more. XYZ, that's what I'm saying. I had heard an interview from Preem before. He said that he looked it up to the Black Panthers and freedom fighters and a lot of people in an older interview Supreme from prison. That he looked up the people that he idolized were actually the freedom fighters of the black community, of the black ancestry. That's what we idolized. So I think he had a shift in his thinking while he was in prison, getting knowledge, getting more knowledge himself. Um, you know, I think he probably had a shift in his thinking in prison. Real talk. I really believe that. Because I have heard him say that, you know, he no longer, he looks up to the Black Panthers and the freedom fighters of his people. Um, and a lot of times, let me tell you something, because I'm about to get up out of here. Smitty, you still there?
Of course I'm here.
All right. A lot of times, bro, the Father, the Most High, puts us into these circumstances so we can really understand and realize who we really are, tap into our real strength, and get us on board to be His warriors, to be His soldiers, to be the Most High soldiers. You see what I'm saying? Recruiting them for His team, putting us through these things, through these trials and tribulations, so we can see who the true enemy is and see who we really are. And I can't say Preem ain't go through one of those transitions. I've seen a lot of. Let me tell you something. The toughest dudes that I've seen in prison right now, the toughest dudes, the toughest dudes that I know from New York State that I've been in prison with, that I've been it with, the best dudes, the most solid dudes. Almost every one of them, almost every one of them working for the community, bro. And that'll tell you a lot right there.
Every last one of them. And salute to all y'all brothers that's out
Salute
there
to
that
all
came
of them.
home, and actually said, I'm done.
The
I'm
toughest
finished. I'm
dudes,
finished giving my life to the government and putting my hands in somebody else's.
the toughest
Putting my life in
dudes,
somebody else's hand.
the toughest dudes, bro. Some of the toughest dudes. You got a few that went astray that went back. But for the most part, most of the toughest dudes, and I'm not just talking about gangbangers, I'm talking about neutral dudes as well, is out here working for the betterment of the community, out here living good lives, or you haven't heard of them. They out here just living good. They may pop up on you, give you a call. The toughest dudes, bro. Dudes that get caught jail bodies. They out here. I be talking to them. Shabay. Salute to Shabay. He out here. He caught a jail body. Out here working for the community. Getting things so he can counsel the community and being good for the community. The Moshes, the Mel Crosses, Mr. 400. You know what I'm saying? Man, do warrior, bad vibes. These are the toughest dudes in these prisons. A lot of these um, Big Fruit podcasts. Big Fruit was a neutral Brooklyn dude, but you couldn't play with Fruit in jail. The toughest dudes, the worst dudes, bro, neutral, gangbanger, whatever. For the most part, the ones that's out here, Pee Wee, Ashan, these type of cats that you heard their names, they out here doing the right thing for the most part, bro. You know, you got the few that went astray. Robo Justice, the Jocks, all these guys you heard about, Teflon Dawn. These dudes was animals out here. They was animals in prison, bro. And for the most part, all of them is doing the right thing, bro. And the only ones that I seen that really made it and had long careers in the music industry is the ones that did bad. That's crazy. I'm just being honest, sure. I'm just being honest, bro. But so that'll show you, I'm just being honest, bro. You know what I'm saying? And I'm not saying you don't got good dudes, because I know some good dudes in the industry, but they wasn't well known gangsters. You got some good dudes in the industry. I'm not saying that everybody's bad. I know a few good dudes. I met some new good dudes. But the old ones, like, they ain't not trying to let them dudes in. I think it's something with that money that if you're a real gangster, you can't be in that shit. Yeah. You might be in some low level shit where you ain't getting no real money. But if you're a real gangster like Supreme, that's why I think it's the Supreme down. Just like you got hip hop cops on the streets, you got hip hop cops in the industry. You got CIs and all that shit in the industry to keep the real gangsters out. I'm just being honest, bro. So that's the guys I see out here making it and doing them. You know what I'm saying? Drama Queen said it's time for the black men to repent against all the enemies put in place to destroy them. It's time for the black men rise up and lead his people. That's a fact, bro. And you got a lot of good leaders out here. You got a lot of good voices like Prince. You got a lot of good dudes out here. You know what I'm saying? You got a lot of good dudes out here. Got some good dudes out here. You know what I mean? Make sure, and I'm always gonna big them up. The ones I know is solid, I'm gonna let you know. You know what I mean? The ones I know that's the solid dudes, the ones that was really on the front line, I'm gonna let you know. You know what I'm saying? I might not talk about the ones that wasn't, because I'm not really here for that. But the ones that was, I'm gonna let you know about them. You know what I'm saying? Yo, but this was a good one right here. You know what I mean? This is a good show. You heard? Um, yo, what's the Knicks score? I gotta go see the Knicks game, man. I'm about to go to what's the Knicks and Boston score, man? Yeah, but it is what it is, man. You know what I'm saying? You already know, man. I'm about to catch that Knicks game, man. This was a good one. I had to pop out. You know, me and Smitty, we ain't been up here in a minute. Um, Make sure y'all go check out Smitty and a lot going on TV. Um, if you ain't hit the like button, hit the like button. This was a good live. You know what I mean? Um, salute to all the brothers I've been talking about. We got to get past this shit and move on to stuff that's real, to real, real dialogue and real stuff that's going on amongst our families, getting money and getting to the next level. You heard? Yo, Mike Velez, salute. Yo, XYZ, yo, good looking on the super chat. Appreciate everybody that tapped in, show love. You know what I'm saying? But we got to do better out of all of this. You know what I'm saying? We got to do better out of all of this. I ain't really into the cops and robbers. Appreciate you, XYZ 716 Buffalo in the building. Appreciate you. I ain't really into the cops and robbers no more. I'm just being honest. You know, the gangster, the snitch, the rat. I'm not into that. You know what I'm saying? I'm into doing the right thing for my peoples, my family, working, um, being respectable, you know, and doing what I can, you know, to live a good life. You know what I'm saying? That's what I'm into now. You know what I mean? I don't really care about that shit. You heard? But hopefully these brothers can like, you know, switch up the rhetoric, um, tone it down a little bit, de-escalate the rhetoric, um, and find a way out of this where everybody can win. You know what I'm saying? That's one thing I learned. You know, we always want to see ourselves win, but it'll be easy for you to win when you want others to win. You think, you think, yo, thank you, off the hook girls, appreciate it. You think that you can want the next person to lose, but still want yourself to win. But when you ask for somebody else to lose, you are asking for yourself to lose. Once you put that energy out there, that loser energy, once you put that loser, those loser thoughts, those bad thoughts out there, that's only the energy that you're gonna bring to yourself. You know what I'm saying? So regardless to what, like Bimmy's first statement that he made when he posted the Supremes, when he posted the Supremes documentary, and he said, I want to see y'all win, he should have stayed on that vibe. He should have stayed on that time. But what I seen under that post, I seen Whack 100, a no good dude. Whack 100 is a no good dude. He want to keep things up in the air. And he made Bimmy change his stance. The first interview he did was with Bimmy, and he probably had a call from Bimmy. Yo, you can't have let dudes to step on your name. Like, this is your leader. That's what Bimmy went wrong at. Bimmy should have said, where the paperwork at? And played the cut and just waited for paperwork or not. Let's see what you gotta say. He let Whack 100 make him content and get him back out here on this internet shit again. He posted Prince, he posted the Supreme 2 documentary. He said, yo, I want to see you get money. He should have stayed on that vibe. That was a great vibe. I'm gonna see you get money. But where's the paperwork? He should have laid in the cut and waited for the response. He let Whack 100 and these bozo internet dudes gas him to go out there and keep talking and making interviews. He let Whack 100 do that. He let Whack 100 do that, bro. He should have never went. He should have just stayed with that. All right, bro, with the paperwork and waited for it. Yeah, Jared Leonard, Whack 100 did that. Yo, you talking soft. Don't never let a dude step on your name. Don't never let a dude, Whack 100 did that, bro. He in the comments. You see him in the comments. Don't never let a dude step on your name. Don't never let a dude this, that, and the third. Matter of fact, hold on. Let me pull that up real quick before I go. Let me pull that up real quick before I go. Hold on. Let me pull that up real quick before I go. I don't know which one of my browsers got my. I'm gonna pull that up real quick before I go. I'm gonna show y'all that. I'm gonna show y'all that. He might have took it down. I think he took it down, man. But that's what it was originally said. The original post. Yeah, I think he took it down because he had shared the post. They probably told him to take it down. He took it down. But we can't be letting people dictate how we feel. You know what I'm saying? If that's how he felt, he should have just stayed on his timing, said where the paperwork at, produced the paperwork, and just laid in the cup for the paperwork. You know what I'm saying? And I can't really tell him to be. I'm just saying he's fanning the flame of this whole shit. Somebody got to stop fanning the flame. If you don't, let me tell you something. The only way to beat a troll is not to respond. That's the only way you could beat this internet. The internet is going to burn itself out. If you're not talking back, if it's not a conversation, that's the only way to beat the internet is not to talk. It's not to post more. Whatever might be going on with you, it's never to post more, it's to say less. It's a big word that they say out there now. You already know, man, say less. Say less. If you don't want something to keep going up and going up and going up, just say less. And it'll go away. It'll go away. The more you fan that flame, the more you talk about it, the more everybody else gonna talk about it. So that's another jewel, man. But I gotta go see my Knicks, man. This was a good live right here. I appreciate y'all for tapping in. XYZ, appreciate you from 716 for the super chats. Salute to everybody that liked. Salute to the Mars for keeping the chat clean. Mike Velez and everybody up in the building. Appreciate all y'all. Yo, just Eric, salute. You know what I mean? Make sure I go subscribe to my brother Just Eric. Make sure I go subscribe to Smitty. A lot going on TV, man. This is another good one for y'all. You heard? Salute. You already know what it is. Mr. Hood Love Mikey B, man. Hood Love TV, where you live, love, and learn. Salute.